Hello you future. Welcome to a new future truth fiction episode from Emil Truthman Visionary Talks. The title is, The Meta Babies, and Future Kids Examples. 5 examples of future kids, the next generation of people, they will remain as survivors of time, people of year 2100, our nephews will live until 2120. Prepare for the future. You will have to live between these 5 generations of kids, work with them, teach them, and leave them your material and non-material legacy, the spiritual and emotional legacy. Number 1 type is the meta babies. In the virtual world it's so easy to have a child, just press the button called, conceive meta baby and you have a virtual child in a virtual world, using your virtual identity. You must agree with your wife or husband what gender the baby will have to create for him a personality, the name, and the age of birth. You can start from 5 years old for example. In the past, like 30 years ago, we had digital portable pets called Tamagotchi. Just like virtual pets, the virtual children never argue with their virtual parents. Now we have the beginning of a new fake reality that will consume your health, time, and money. Reality called virtual world. People are not having children anymore. Here you can be who you want to be, with infinite small costs and effort to achieve a fake success or fake image. For the real people, having kids is a big questions. Kids born today will live until year 2100, calculate 2022 plus 80 years meaning the age life expectancy. Returning to meta babies. You can choose all their values, body, colors, talents, everything you imagine. You just drag and drop from a list and create a data sheet of a new virtual identity called your virtual child. No diapers, no feedback with emotions, no crying baby, and no lessons of being a parent. The second example of kids are the kids born in off-grid communities, people living not using or depending on public utilities, or being outside of the monetary system, outside of health and debt system, and respecting the laws and the rules of society to the zero limit, just not to break the laws. People living in nature, practicing survival, educating their children, children learning the meaningful things in life, not the slaves of capitalism. The parents of these children have a past of being against the rules and decide for themselves what is good or bad for their family. Call them the invisible society. This thought lead me to the communities of persecuted believers, Christians, people living in the forests, caves, isolated communities, private schools, small houses, minimalists, people tired of the cage of society, bills and debts, pollutions, consumerism, toxic food and toxic people. The third type of future children are special genius prodigy ones. Check my episode about living between genius people, link in description. The gap between smart people, and less educated and lazy people is growing. The governments of the world are giving bread and circus, what can you need more? Bread and circus is a Latin phrase meaning that groups of people were ruled and they obey just for the free food and distractions after the slavery working program. The smart people always will remain anonymous or they will be public figures, leaders, and teachers. Children of tomorrow will have a good life, being the only child in a family, the only nephew of his grandparents. From material point of view they will inherit everything from their parents. The question is how they will be educated, loved, and watching the couples that have my age and with one child, those kids grow in a fake reality wealth bubble. They don't know that life is hard, and you have to work for money, and living in a bubble you will be eaten by the other kids from the real world. The fourth category of future kids, are the slaves of society, future adults, less educated, slaves of cell phones, internet and gadgets, of political social system, the not loved kids, the poor and the lazy, the addicted, the hungry, the ugly truth of world. Look at the society, the kids under 10 years, and add 20 years, plus the fact that the world is changing. People moving from a country to another, people not making family, and in a world, living in a city with more than half are old people, the future is though to survive, meaning someone should take care of their elder parents, relatives, community members, and not all problems can be solved with fake unlimited printed money, dollars. The fifth category of children, rich kids of future. They live in their rich communities, getting married between themselves, multiplying money and write rules for themselves, to protect their wealth or to exploit the masses of people. Just look around today, who decides for an entire country, against the will of population of that country? We have the virtual kids example. People lie to themselves and choose to be stupid. Kids in the digital world, the virtual children never argue with their real parents, meta babies, fake parenting. The second type are children born from free-minded couples. They will be the peace in the world, the balance, and the alternative lifestyle example. The third example are the rare but genius kids. They will create new inventions, teachings, thoughts. The poor kids, born poor, generational poverty with no escape will. The rich kids, the rich ones. They will remain, but will have problems adapting to new world rules that don't depend on them. What children will you have? God bless everyone with loved by parents, children. Prepare for the future. You will have to live between these generations of kids, work with them, teach them, and leave them your material and non-material legacy, the spiritual and emotional legacy. Check out my surprise episode, link in the description of this video.